Hey guys, Chelsea here from Making Manzanita, and today we are going to teach you how to build a DIY sofa table with a power outlet. Guys, Logan has been working on a new project out in the garage the last several days, and he's finally finished it today, and we're getting ready to install it, and it's going to solve a major pain point for me. Let me show you. All right, so this is my designated spot on the couch. And this is typically where I sit. Logan usually sits over there, and he's got a whole side table next to him to set his coffee and his laptop charger. And I'm always stuck here, and what usually ends up happening is I have to get all the way up after I'm all comfy to get my drink, and then I have nowhere to set it, so I usually hand it to Logan and he passes it over to the side table, or I get up and put it on the coffee table. But we're putting a shelf behind the couch, a console table that's going to be completely hidden back here, and it'll be a perfect place for me to set my drink. And the other pain point that it's going to solve for me is my charging cord for my laptop, because usually when we're sitting here at night, usually on my laptop while we're watching TV, and the cord, our only plug, is right behind the couch over there. And we have an extension cord under the couch. Usually I'm asking Logan, hey, can you plug this in? And then it goes over Logan and then behind me and plugs into my laptop. And there's just cords everywhere. And then every time I go to get up, we gotta unravel the cords. So we're going to be putting an outlet in a little hidden box on the console table, so that it'll have a charging cord right here. So I can sit in the middle of the couch and not deal with either of those two things that drive me crazy. All right, let's get started. First, you want to cut your wood according to the woodworking plans, and we are sharing the free woodworking plans for this project with you, so you can check out the description to get a link to those. So just follow along with the visual cut list in the plans. Keep in mind there are a few bevel cuts required for this project to get that beveled corner, so you will need to have a bevel miter saw to cut those. Then you can sand all of the pieces of wood before assembling. We just used an Orbital sander. We started with 80 grit sandpaper and then moved up to 150 grit sandpaper. Then you can drill your pocket holes, and most of the joinery on this table is pocket hole joinery. So we are using our Craig 720 Pro here, and I absolutely love it. I have a full YouTube video all about how to use it and set it up, so be sure to check that out if you're interested in learning more. That's what it'll look like. And then you can move on to assembly. So we started with the inside vertical pieces, and we're using pocket hole joinery again with 1.25 inch pocket hole screws. And you want to start with those vertical pieces and then move on to the other ones. And you can see here we have a few notches in our table. So the one on the top there is to fit around an accent wall that we have in our living room. And then the notch on the bottom is actually to fit around the baseboard. So we added that into the woodworking plans for just a standard baseboard size. And that'll just allow the table to sit flush against the wall so there's not a big gap there. Next, you want to work on building this small little outlet box, and this is going to live underneath the bottom of the table, right in the middle, and this will just hold that recessed outlet. So you want to build the small box, just cut the wood down to size, and then put it together using pocket hole joinery. And then we used a 3.25 inch hole saw in the bottom of the box, and you want to just drill that hole using the hole saw, and then you can just put that recessed outlet into the hole, and double check that recessed outlet that you get to make sure that that 3.25 inch hole saw is going to be the right size, but that's the one that matched the outlet that we got. So it worked perfectly. It just sits right in there, and then you can screw it into place on the bottom to secure. So for the corners, we decided to add some corner support. So you want to assemble these. We just used a little bit of wood glue and then 1.5 inch finish nails to put those in. And then we added each of those corner supports into the corners when we assembled the table. Next, you can fill any exposed nail holes with a Stainable wood filler and then let that dry and then sand smooth. And we used 150 grit sandpaper and an Orbital sander to go over all of the nail holes afterwards. And then wipe everything down really well, and then you can move on to sealing. We sealed it with just a spray polyurethane for a natural finish. We didn't use any stain. before we sealed it, and then just let it dry thoroughly before you bring it inside. So this is what the table looked like right when we brought it inside before we had installed it. That little lid piece to go on top of the outlet box is not shown there, but we did have a piece for that, and then we were able to put it into place here. So we're just moving our sectional sofa out of the way. The table is about 5.5 inches wide, so it really doesn't need much extra room in your living room to use a table like this. You just want to put it into place there. It should sit flush along the edge of the wall and fit perfectly. So we originally were planning on putting the lid here on a hinge to lift up, but now that we've got it in here and we're getting ready to attach it, we realized that this would either have to be shaved down slightly right here, or the table would have to be off the wall a bit so that this door or lid has enough room to come up. What we're gonna do instead, they probably make a hinge that would work, but what we're gonna do instead, since it's pretty rare, we're actually gonna need to get like in here. We're just gonna put it on as a lid and not have it as a hinge, and then when we need to get into the outlet, you just lift it up and put it back. So that's the plan. So we have it all installed here and it's looking good. I love that we went with just a light finish. We didn't stain it at all. We just put the lacquer on it. So it kind of matches the side table we have right here, and also the wood slat wall is like a light unstained wood. So one thing we did not think of, which if we were doing this again, we probably would make some adjustments, is this little corner right here. We did think it was gonna be covered. It's not that big of a deal because you can't really see it when you back up, but I forgot that our couch kind of tilts inwards here. So you can see that bottom corner, which we had originally designed it so that it lined up right here with the edge of the couch, but you can kind of see it down there at the bottom. No big deal, but we probably would have made it a little shorter if we remembered that about the couch. And then here is how this little area looks. So, ta-da! So there's our outlet. It's got 2 USB, 2 regular outlets, 3-prong, and then the little lightning cord. That's where my laptop charger will go. This is just a lid, and then the cords can funnel through here. And we did cut it custom to fit on our slat wall, which most people would not need to do that. So in the woodworking plans, we've eliminated that little notch out, but we did keep in this little notch for baseboards. So these are just standard size baseboards. So you can adjust that if you don't have baseboards, but if you don't have this little notch, it's gonna be sitting that far off of your wall. So you may have things drop behind there. So that's why we designed it like that. And then you can see it is a little off the wall here, but our walls are definitely not square in this house. Super old house, and so that's why it's a little off the wall. No big deal. Definitely the coolest part of this table is that small hidden box with the recessed outlet. I really love that I can now just easily sit on the corner of the couch in my little spot and have my laptop and other devices charging while I relax. So there's no more cords running all over the couch and under the couch and a surge protector just to charge my laptop. I'm able to charge them super easy, and then I love that I'm able to put my water cups and my coffee cups right next to me while I'm sitting on the couch. I don't have to get up and reach on over to the coffee table, which feels so far away when I'm sitting there and all cozy. And the coffee table is great, but in our house, cups on the coffee table inevitably always get spilled by the dog's wagging tail or the kids playing. So it's nice that these cups are kind of away from the chaos. So if you're wondering just how much it costs to build this, I've broken it all down in our blog post, which is linked in the tutorial, and it is probably a little more expensive than you would imagine, but we were using hardwood and we were using oak here. So you could definitely go with a cheaper type of wood if you wanted to, but we wanted to use that hardwood. All right, if you guys love this tutorial, be sure to let us know. You can subscribe to our channel. We share weekly DIY and renovating tutorials, and then watch this video next. I think you guys will love it. And I will see you guys next week. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. See you next time. Bye-bye.